Despite the fact that the show doesn't get anywhere near the amount of DVD releases it used to get, SpongeBob still gets season DVD releases consistently. Despite the fact that a lot of them, especially the later ones, don't have much really going for them, the one thing they do all have is very good looking cover art, and we're gonna look at all of them and rank them. So we got our tier maker list up here. Nothing like a good tier maker list. Always good to remind you to get Epic Universe tickets. Tickets and packages on sale. Don't miss those. Alright, let's start in order. So, Season 1. Now, Season 1 is good, but it is a bit basic, I suppose. But the art is good. It has all the main characters there, and there's nothing actively wrong with it, but it's not exceptional in any way. So somewhere between A and B would be my placement. I think it fits in A. Season 2 is very similarly basic. It does have the pattern of SpongeBob's house, but that's not a crazy design. And it has less characters in it, and it's honestly kind of one of the more boring ones, so I'd put it in C, probably. Season 3, it does a good job of incorporating the number of the season in an interesting way, I'd say. With a 3 written in ketchup over pictures, mostly related to the Krusty Krab, but then there's a random Patrick picture just here. I'd say it's worthy of A, I suppose. Season 4's I'm not the biggest fan of. I don't really like the fact that it just represents one episode. And also Squidward looks very weirdly small here. It was a weird choice for, instead of it to just be like a general SpongeBob thing, they chose for it to represent one specific episode, and like not a particularly great one either. Not a bad episode, but not really a memorable one either. It still has a creative way of including like the number of the season and doesn't do anything outwardly wrong, so we are going to put it into B. Next we have Season 5, which does a good job having all the main characters there. Even Mrs. Puff and some random background fish also get to make an appearance, I suppose. And it's a creative idea making SpongeBob himself the number 5 for Season 5. I'd say this one is probably the best we've had so far, because it doesn't have a problem that we will start seeing, because everything here, I could be wrong, but the art here looks like it was drawn for this season. Even like the characters who are just like standing around, like it looks like they made an effort to like redraw them and they aren't just using like stock art or anything. So I would say, oh, and one more thing. The header is also done in an interesting way that correlates with the theme of the rest of the cover. So I am gonna say that this will be our first S tier, if I can get around the Epic Universe ad. So next we have Season 6, which has the problem I was bringing up with the last one. This image of SpongeBob here is just very basic stock art. And also this is probably the weakest cover we've had so far. It's just stock art of SpongeBob in front of a generic background that has a 6. There's not really much interesting about it. It's just a 6 with SpongeBob in front of it. I guess it does the job, but it doesn't deserve anything above a D tier, so we are putting it in the D tier. So this one is one I'm conflicted on. It has pretty much all of the main characters in it, and it even has like side characters, like get a little bit of Mrs. Puff You get Karen, and you get Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy. I think this is the only time that they appear on the cover of a season DVD. So I do like all that, and I like the art of these characters because it's again not stock art. It looks like art that was all drawn specifically for this DVD, and it even has a lot of like one-off characters from the season. The only problem is that this is season 7, so most of the one-off characters aren't from good episodes and aren't really characters I like. But overall, like, the art's good. The only other thing I don't really like is this like color scheme. Everything's kind of dark. I feel like a lot of the like detail in this just kind of looks like the art was kind of like smeared with some poop brown. So I don't really love the color scheme they chose. I feel like it's a bit too dark, and I feel like it should have been brighter to fit the vibe of the show. I also don't know why there is a flower inside of this bubble. It even looks like it comes out a little bit. I don't know what that's doing there. Oh yeah, and how could I forget? I also don't like this. I feel like this just disturbs the art to put a very generic headline here. Over 9 hours of SpongeBob hilarity. I don't think we needed that. And I just feel like it doesn't really fit here, and it makes the art worse. And this is like, I think, the only DVD to have like a headline like this. So I don't know why they decided to give it specifically to this season, but yeah. So I'd say that keeps it away from S tier, but we will put it at the top of A. I feel like season 8 is good, but standard. It's good for what it is. It does the job. It has a cool little figure 8, and it has SpongeBob and Patrick flowing in the wind, but it's not anything really special at all, but it does the job. There's nothing actively wrong with it, so I will put it at the top of B. Next we have season 9, which is one of my favorites, I'd say. I like the colors, and I like all the jellyfish. That all looks really cool, and I'd say that Plankton and Squidward look pretty good here. But SpongeBob and especially Patrick don't fit here. I think Patrick is the worst part of this cover. They just kind of put this very generic stock image of him behind a bunch of jellyfish. He just does not look like he belongs here at all. Gary looks fine, I guess, but also kind of out of place. SpongeBob is weird because it looks like they are trying to make it look like he's sitting, but this is art of him standing. His legs are just bent, but they kind of put these curves in the jellyfish to make it look like he's sitting on it, and that also looks off. But I'd say Patrick looks the worst, and I wouldn't say that's bad enough to remove it from S tier. It's still good art, but it will not quite make the top of S. We will have to put it behind season 9 because of that stock image Patrick. Season 10 is our next contender. Come on down. So this one I like. It's very simple, but the art is very good in its simplicity, and it's a very good, easy idea to do. Just SpongeBob's making Krabby Patties, and the Krabby Patties form a 10. I would say that I feel like this would have been done better with like a single number season. It kind of looks weird that there are 2 patties, but that is a very dumb nitpick. So I will put this one also in S tier, I think between seasons 5 and 9. We now move on to season 11, which I think is the only one along with season 4 to base it off of a specific episode. Again, not an amazing episode by any stretch of the imagination. It's okay But yeah, I'd say that this one has a better better theming than season 4 though, and I like these little drawings of Squidward, Mr. Krabs, and Sandy and Gary that are scattered about. You could have included a little drawing of Plankton somewhere to get all the main characters in there, but you know, I guess I can't be too picky. This is also one of the only times I'm okay with them using the stock images because they're so close up that they just kind of fit. Like, they don't look weird or out of place. They fit here fine. But yeah, I'd say this one is a good A tier. Put it between season 7 and season 3. Next we got season 12, the DVD that bothers me to this day because they removed an episode, and now that the episode's back on streaming and everywhere else, they still don't bother to put it out on the DVD. I don't know why. But this is some really good art here. SpongeBob, Patrick, and even Gary are all pretty expressive on this cover, I'd say. This is another one where it's clearly not stock art. They clearly drew this art for the season. And the Rock Formation 12 is a basic idea, but a very, very good one. One that I'm surprised I didn't think of beforehand. So I'd say that this art is pretty good. We'll actually put it in S, above season 9. Now we have 13, which, I already don't like this bottom part here, just because I didn't like it with season 7. I don't really like when they cover up the art to, like, advertise something. At least this is more of an actual, they're advertising something specific and not just saying over 9 hours of SpongeBob or whatever season 7 said. But still could definitely do without this. And the balloon design just kind of, it's not bad, and again the art's good because again it's not stock art. But it just kind of feels like they couldn't really think of anything to do with the 13. They were just like, balloons. And the 13 is like very, very it's like small compared to how big and front and center the number is on like every other season. Like SpongeBob is almost taking up more space than the number, and I think SpongeBob and Patrick together, like their half of the DVD, I think takes up more space than the number itself. So I'd put this one in, put it at the top of C. But then we move on to season 14, which I would dare to say is our best one yet. The 14 is made in a very creative way with this stack of Krabby Patties, just like all the little Krabby Patties making it up. Makes it a very interesting and visually striking thing to look at. It has a lot of the characters in it, and they're all not stock art once again, and I do like how all of them, aside from Mr. Krabs, who still looks good and is still feels like he's in the scene, I guess. But I like how, especially with these 4 characters, they're all like interacting with each other. Like we can see them all stacked on top of each other. It's not like season 9 where it just feels like a character is plopped in for no reason. Every character in this art feels like they should be in this art. So I'd say that this is the best one we've had. I thought that's where we were gonna end it. However, lo and behold, when I wasn't looking, they released season 15 on DVD, because these days in SpongeBob, these seasons just seem to end so quickly. Maybe it's just because I remember back in my day when season 9 took like 5 years to air all of its episodes, but it just feels feels like now they're like cranking out seasons like there's no tomorrow. So this art is good. Again, they've like stopped using stock images or stock art after season 11. It's again like another interesting idea. I don't like how much higher the 5 is than the 1 though. I feel like that's a little weird. And I also don't really like how they're laying in it. They're all laying in very weird ways to fit the number. SpongeBob's makes sense because he bends around like that all the time. Sandy's just in a weird position where it kind of looks like she's like cackling. It kind of looks like she's like laughing, but her face also looks dead inside and just kind of a weird pose. And then Patrick just looks like he's laying in a coffin that's too small for him. All their laying positions aside from SpongeBob kind of look weird. Gary looks fine, I guess. Decent. But not anything crazy. I'd probably put it at the bottom of B. Whoa, it's like stairs. Well, that's fun and wacky. So there's my ranking of the SpongeBob DVDs. Hopefully they will still be doing fun and creative stuff even when we get the release of season 52. Actually, maybe we should include the DVDs for the spin-offs. So let's take a look at one of those. Nope, never mind.